A pleasant day, everyone. Now that we are done discussing Unit 1, let us now move to Unit 2, which is all about school as social institution. School as an institution is where formal interaction between diverse individuals has the same goal, which is to develop a productive and efficient social being. It is an institution that bears most of the responsibility of preparing young people for the working environment. In this unit, we will discuss in detail the role of school as a social institution, how school boosts confidence, and how it teaches us to establish relationship between different people, and most especially this lesson will also help us to learn how to work together as a team. So, our learning objectives at the end of the unit are number one, students should be able to discuss the role of school as socializing agent. Number two, identify the importance of school community relations. Number three, differentiate the types of community relations. Number four, discuss the different areas of school community relationship where school and community can partner with each other for mutual benefits. And lastly, number five, analyze the important role played by teacher in school community relations. So, our first topic pertains to the role of school as a socializing agent. The school is one social organization or institution designed to improve the socialization and education processes. So, what does it mean? It means that the role of school is not only to teach academic and life skill. School is also a training ground where one social skill is developed through interaction with teachers, staff, and other students that has diverse background. School is a socializing agent because it improves socialization, where developing a social self and discovering one's culture and understanding the cultural rules and expectation is involved. Most of us doesn't recognize the role of school as socializing agent because to be honest, there is no specific subject that teach a student how should they socialize. Socialization is taught to us by the situation, experience, and interaction between people in our school environment.
The school is an artificial structure developed for social interactions and cultural transmission purposes. Unlike shared societies, the school can be seen as a formally constituted group, and the school is among the most significant socializing agencies, the most important organizations in which socializations. The schools is a model that respect what's going on within a broader society. The school is an artificial structure developed for social interaction and cultural transmission purpose. The school is one distinguished place for educational activity for teaching system. The school is an large-scale organization for a child to be broader education in socializations. From different perspectives, schools are form of learning development system that have a role to mold the child educations. As an intellectual, the school is among most of the organizations that terms 4 years of development. Unlike other constitutions, growth in society, it was on the changes of reform method that may be beneficial not only for child's perspective, but also for the thriving economic of the country.
One way to understand the socialization potential of the school is by actually measuring how many hours the youngsters spend in school and in school related activities. The youngsters spend most of their productive hours of the day in school, staying for around 9 months in a year from morning to evening in the case of a day school and boarding schools. Clearly, students learn a lot from the teachers and fellow students during this period. Because of this reality, the school is a major socializing force. When youngsters attend schools, they receive instructions and socialization outside the family, sometimes for the first time. While youngsters are often the center of attention at home, they spend time in school learning to respect and value the time and opinion of others. They also learn a lot of social skills that will eventually prepare them for workforce that they will enter as adults. Perhaps the most notable thing that children learn in school is to respect the authority of their teacher. The school is said to be significant in terms of socialization. Next to the home, through its socializing role, the school incorporates formal approaches, for example, classroom instructions, fine caning, suspension, expulsion, official reference, and prizes. For example, classroom instructions. It means that part of driver's education course that occurs in classroom environment that enables a student to learn through varied instructions method under the direct guidance of a driver education instructors. And informal approaches, which is peer group influence or pressure. For example, a peer pressure or influence is when you do something because you want to feel accepted and valued by your friends. And its example is choosing the same clothes, hairstyles, or jewelry as their friends. Many aspects of school can be positive in terms of socialization. Children learn social skills, independence, and time management techniques that will remain useful in their future.
How the school performs the function of socialization. Through the curriculum, the school in a formal way provides the children with number 1, knowledge of basic intellectual skills. What are those knowledge of basic intellectual skills? This includes reading, writing, verbal expression, quantitative and other cognitive abilities, and etc. Meaning to say, in school, students learn how to communicate properly with their fellow students and their teachers. That is what basic intellectual skill is. Second, cultural achievement in one society. Meaning to say, when we enter the school, we will meet different people with different religions, cultures, beliefs, and others. The school is said to teach the students how to respect each differences that we have. Third, opportunities to acquire social and vocational abilities which are necessary in order to make one a social, useful, and economically productive member of society. What says here that the school also teaches the students how to be a productive person who can help our society and makes us a better citizen. Fourth, gender roles as perceived as suitable roles by society. This means that the school is the one that teaches the gender roles to the students and how they will respect the differences of the students from each other. Because a student's understanding about gender roles impacts how they socialize with their peers and forms relationship. Number 2. Educational systems socialize students to become member of society, to play meaningful roles in the complex network of independent position. Meaning to say, the educational system teaches the students to associate and become members of society. For example, as the education students, we are learning from the educational system provided, and when we graduate, we will become a teacher and help our students and create a domino effect that can help us to give a better society.
3. Education helps in shaping values and attitudes to the needs of the contemporary society. It is important that education helps the students to shape their values and attitudes. Why? Because it teaches students how to conduct their lives in the most advantageous way for both themselves and those people around them. And also, it develops the students' responsibility and common sense. They have a greater understanding of life's perspective as a result, which aids them in leading fulfilling lives as responsible citizens. 4. Education widens the mental horizons of pupils and teaches them new ways of looking at themselves and their society. For me, as a future educator, socializing is the most effective technique to broaden our mental horizons because it exposes us to fresh information or perspectives on the world around us. Through education, society transmits to its younger generations its knowledge, skills, values, and behavioral patterns. 5. Education offers young people opportunities for intellectual, emotional, and social growth. Thus, education can be influential in promoting new values and stimulating adaptation of changing conditions. The youth can select and pursue their hobbies with the aid of schooling. They make their own choices on their life's paths. This helps individuals define objectives for themselves and work toward achieving those goals. Greater options for career advancement and personal development will become available as one's knowledge increases.
The school informally through social clubs. The child teaches a variety of additional social duties and skills that are most important for his or her general development as a part of our society. Education teaches the students how to become a better citizen of a community. It educates the learners about the laws of the community, their rights as a member of the community, and the norms they should follow since they are part of the community. Of course, having these rights as a member of the community, individuals should know their responsibilities. Education doesn't stop on teaching laws, norms, and rights of the individual. Education teaches everyone how to become decent in front of other people, especially in front of adults. As a learner, you are expected to act more reasonable, especially in the corporate world. In education, you are not pushed to compete with your classmates or colleagues. Education teaches you to be kind and friendly. Education teaches you how to communicate and share your ideas to one another, not to compete so you can get a higher grade. This also teaches you how to be cooperative in all your doings for you to gain more confidence when you are sharing your thoughts to each other. In this case, we need to respect each other's opinion, privacy so that we will know how to deal or connect to the others. While as a student, it is important on how to know the different cultures in different societies. That's why our teacher professors engage us to build a connection in our surrounding. As we grow older, there are some changes that happen in our body, especially in our attitudes. That's the reason why schools, universities teach us how to deal with that sudden changes in our body. As an example, a college graduate is expected to act more reasonable because they attain a certain level of understanding than those who doesn't finish college.
Growing up, are you one of those children parents thought of this? Wala akong ibang maipapamana sa'yo kundi ang pag-aaral. Well, actually, parents are right because learning is so powerful and that learning is something we can hold on to. But learning doesn't only found in the corners of a classroom or even inside of the school, but rather outside of your classroom and outside of your comfort zones. Outside your home, you can go beyond your community, you can learn something great from the people around your community, especially good works and values which we can help you become a better person. As humans, we are meant to learn everything in our lives, and that learning is part of being a student and workers in either blue or white collar jobs. Learning doesn't stop once you finish high school or even college or even when you got your master's. For as long as we live, we continue to learn new things inside and outside of the classroom. Learning doesn't have boundaries and doesn't only accessible for rich people who can pay for high priced tuition fees in prestigious universities around the world. Learning is not being academically successful, but also having wisdom outside of the school, as what Sayer and William in 1989 concluded. School is an institution which aim is to educate students or learners. It does have physical structures like buildings, halls, fields, and even cafeterias. A community like towns or cities or ethnic neighborhood is where an organization is located. Now, have you ever wondered or thought of the relationship between the school and the community? Well, there are a few things we need to understand about the relationship between the school and the community. The school and the community plays a vital role in the context of learning. The institution join hand in order to achieve the certain goals for the goodness of both parties. In other words, the school and the community have a two-way symbiotic relationship where both cooperate to achieve the goals of the community and vice versa. In order for the school to function effectively, it needs the support of the community. As an example, if the school is planning to conduct a symposium on awareness of drugs on youth within the community must support the school in every way they can, like providing the food for the delegates or helping the school spread the flyers around the community and so on. On the other hand, if the community is planning to conduct a program that will help the community, the school must support them in all possible ways. For example, if the community is planning to conduct a tree planting activity, the school must help them by encouraging the students to participate in the tree planting program. In that way, the school and the community will have a harmonious environment and they will function effectively. Now, if the school and the community doesn't go along, there could be a great difficulty in achieving one's goal because they both lack of support which they both need in order to achieve their goals.
What happens in a school affects the community, and what happens in the community affects the school. The school and the community are the sources of effective and powerful forces that can foster a positive environment for mutual benefit and improvement. They can develop a partnership in which both parties are willing to share knowledge and obligations in the best interest of the community. The interaction between the school and the community is important as the community plays a significant part in the education system, influencing in children's development and connecting them to the school. Schools, on the other hand, exist in the communities. For example, increased contact between teachers and parents allows teachers to understand more about students' needs and traits, which can help to improve children's development. We also have something called home visiting, which is when a teacher goes to the home of his or her student and asks a specific question about that learner. Next is the school cannot exist in isolation but in cooperation with the community in which it finds itself. The school has to arrange for the students opportunities to participate in social services, health campaigns, development plans, and other public activities. Like extracurricular activities include student government, arranging school activities such as sports meets, art theater, or music shows by following safety protocols or through the use of social media channels. Next is effective school-community relationship raises student persistence and achievement. The school environment, as well as other local agency and community-based settings, provide communities with the chance to serve the needs of children and families with an intentional, enriched, and supported academic, social, and emotional health experience. The following are the activities conducted during the school programs: medical and nutritional screening of the school pupils, inspection of school's environment and facilities using a checklist. Similarly, during this pandemic, community officials are ensuring that every school is safe and secure because the school year has begun. Next is the school library can especially be of significant service to the community. Public and school libraries, in fact, can play an essential role in providing places and opportunity for young people to develop their abilities, explore their interests, and express themselves. Libraries, for example, can help struggling and underprivileged young people catch up and gain ahead by providing rich and meaningful learning experiences during the many hours they are not in school. Next is student achievement is positively associated with parent involvement in school. Some of the gains that come from parental involvement include higher achievement in classroom tasks, better school attendance, more positive attitudes and behaviors towards learning, and higher graduation rates among developing children. Parents, for example, may give their children with educational resources such as devices, continual internet access, school materials, and emotional support, which can assist students enhance their academic these days.
There are different types of relationship which exist between school and community. According to Polis 2005 identified six types of school community relationship. Number 1, parenting. Schools provide training and information to help families understand their children's development and how to support the changes they undergo. When we say family, what comes into your mind? Is it unconditional love? Is it a home or the other way around? As you can see, parents has a great impact to the school community relationship. Why? Because family is the first one who provides us the love and care that we need. A family is our strength and weaknesses at the same time. They are the one that gives us the safety and taught us to be kind and good. Honestly, the school starts in home. And for schools, they're the one who molds the student intellectual ability and to discover their skills. There's also the one who could be a stepping stone to the families on how to give the love and the right support to the development of their children. And that's how parenting works in the school community relationship. Number 2, communication. School must reach out to families with information about the school. Communication must be in forms that families find it understandable and useful. Communication plays a huge role in the school community relationship. Why? Communication is a two-way process, right? And to be specific in our topic today, that is the school and the family. It says here that communication must be in forms that families find it understandable and useful. For example of that is PTA meetings or Parents Teacher Association. PTO meetings are Parents Teacher Organization and carves out day, etc. These forms of communication will be a tool to parents to evaluate their children's development and changes in school. It also gives both sides of benefits to help and support their student and children changes in the school community. Number 3 is volunteering. Volunteering. Parents can make significant contribution to the environment and function of a school. A volunteer works in the school for parents is one of the most important roles in modern education. A volunteer work for parents offers a great opportunity to be with their children and to engage a great partnership with teachers and schools, as the behavior and skills of the students will develop socially and emotionally. For example, to be motivated in school and home, to be responsible with their own, and to create a relationship building that will boost their self esteem.
Number three is volunteering. Parents can make significant contributions to the environment and to the functions of the school. The school can get the most out of this process by creating flexible schedule so more parents could engage themselves to participate in the upcoming activities in the school. And by working to match the interests, the talents of the parents to the needs of the students, teachers, and the administrators. Number four is learning. In learning, The relationship between parents and the teachers are essential. Why? Because in the school, teachers are assigned to teach the students in their everyday lesson or in their everyday subject matter. And with the help of the teachers and with the help or with the guidance and support of the teachers, family members and the parents can supervise or assist their um, children to do their homework, assignment, and other school related activities at home. Next is decision making. School can give parents meaningful roles in the school decision making process and provide parents with training and information so they can make the most of those opportunities. These opportunities should be open to all segments of the community, not just for those who have the most of time and for those who have the most of the energy to participate to the school affairs. PTA and parents classroom officers are example of associations in the school that is built to help the school to make decisions in a particular issue. Last, we have collaboration with the community. School can help families gain access to support services offered by other agencies such as healthcare, tutoring services, free dental, free haircut, and so on. They also can help families and community groups provide services to the community such as recycling programs, food pantries, uplandliness, feeding programs, and other activities that will help the families in the community.
Areas of school community relationship. The areas of school community relationship imply those areas where school and community can partner with each other for mutual benefits. Partnering according to Michigan State University requires give and take conversation, goal setting for future, and regular follow-up interaction. School community partnership should be considered as connection between school and community resources. The area of this partnership, according to Yelena Mitafanova Extension Education, may involve the following. Number one is use of school or neighborhood facilities. School and communities can partner with each other in the use of different facilities, such as clinics, transport facilities, restaurants, and more, as well as providing a space for students to learn. Public schools also offer their facilities to community groups and organizations to run community activities and events outside of the schoolhouse. There are many benefits for school and students in having community groups and organizations use their facilities, including better communication and greater goodwill between schools and their communities. We know that better community engagement leads to better outcomes to students. Number two is sharing other resources. These kinds of partnership are forged between schools and organizations. The aims of these partnerships focus on exposing students to careers and work skills, with sponsoring organizations benefiting from free or cheap labor. Partnership between schools and organizations offer the opportunity to support the needs of children and families, with intentional, enhanced, and supported academic, social, and emotional health experiences in the school setting as well as to other local agencies and community-based sites. These opportunities pave the way to enhance the teaching process of the teachers and the learning of the children. It gives students an idea about the various resources of the community and gives exposure to the issues that exist in the community. Each service provided by the community organization gives students the skill to have the opportunity to interact with a multicultural crowd. Collaborative fundraising and grant application. The school and community collaborate in raising funds needed for educational process. It's essential for helping students to achieve their maximum potential. It provides better education and assistance in demanding schools to meet expectations with measurable goals and accountability for how funds are used and what results are expected. The collaboration with the school and community also complements and reinforces the values, culture, and learning opportunities of the children that the schools provide for raising funds needed for the development.
The fourth one is volunteer assistance. It is an important link that has first-hand knowledge of the schools and students' conditions. The majority of volunteers in the school community are parents, just as they are in cleaning programs, feeding programs, and so on. Some students are the ones who volunteer at school events, mentor students, donate supplies, and more. This is why the Republic Act number 9418 was enacted to highlight and recognize volunteerism in society. Second to the last is mentoring and training, which can help people realize their full potential for discovery, imagination, and involvement. These area's goals is to inspire students by listening to skilled and experienced elders and learning from their perceptions, intellect, and cultures. Experts are brought into the school to give a workshop and cultivate cultural literacy among students. This will greatly assist students in becoming more aware of different cultures and becoming more inspired and determined to succeed in the future. Lastly, information sharing and dissemination. In today's society, communication is simple, powerful, innovative, and informative. However, for most parents, hearing news from school about their children is a nightmare because they believe it is partly related to a mess made by their child. The loss of good communication between the school community and parents hinders their children's success. The primary goal of this area is to strengthen the school community's connection, to obtain and transmit accurate information at all times, both outside and inside the school, and also to break the stereotypes. Students, parents, and various sectors of the community will benefit and be critical in this manner.
Now, we are going to talk about the roles of the teacher in the school community relations according to John N. Libor in his 1984 article. His first point on his article is that one of the role of the teacher in the school community relation is that they are the backbone of educational system, which is very true. Um, Teachers are truly the backbone of the society. They are role models to children, offer guidance and dedication, and give young people the power of education. Because of teachers, countries are able to further develop socially and economically. That is very true because if we're going to talk about the student and teacher ratio, there is one teacher to every 35 students. But because here in the Philippines, we have lack in resources and fundings in the government, sometimes the one teacher to 35 student is not being followed. For example, as in the BSE 3A, we are 60 plus students in one section. We are 60 plus students in one section. So imagine if our professor or teacher cannot make it into our class, 60 plus students will not learn. So teachers are really the backbone of the educational system. The second point of John Enabor in his article about teachers' role in school community relation is that teachers should implement school policy, which is correct. Um, Teachers should always be the first to follow school policies because I believe students or children learn by example. So if we educators or teachers will show to them what is correct, I believe the kids will follow. Imagine also if there are a lot of policies in school and you will see teachers are the first one who are violating them. Of course, children or the students will not follow the policy anymore because those who are in a higher higher positions are the one who are violating the policy. So for them, they will think that it is okay to not follow the policy because teachers um, are the one who are violating. Also, one of the point of John and Nabor in his article about teachers' role in the school community relation is that teachers should retain public trust. Um, one of the role of the teacher are to really retain public trust. Trust is the most essential element in building relationship and improving learning. Once is embedded in the school culture, you can have more powerful conversation to help everyone grow and improve. Um, it is not it is not hard to build public trust. Just start by investing time and giving structure to trust, building spaces such as recognizing and supporting others. Being trustworthy is also one of the characteristic a person and especially a teacher should have. Because imagine if parents or the community did not trust you, of course they will not send their kids to school. Um, so in order for us to build trust to parents or to the community, we should always give our best positive characteristic always, and to always show respect and to show to parents that we care about their kids, that we want their kids to learn. Also, one point of John and Nabor in his article about the role of the teacher in the school community relations is that teachers they influence the funding and the support for school. I believe this aspect was affected or the result of the prior roles that teacher plays in the school community relations, because imagine if the teacher is trustworthy, if they implement the school policy, I believe the students and their parents will also support the school in return. And with that support comes the financial funding. So, yes.
School working with community is important. Their partnership will surely have a successful outcomes as they share mutual interests for the achievements and goals. But is school and community relations are possible without teachers? Teachers are the bridge that links school and community together. The first consistent assumption about teacher to school community relation is teacher as valuable tool for school community relation. The well-known phrase that teachers are the backbone of the society is real. Teachers educate and train their students to be innovative and logically intelligent. Students become more competent and build researches which may have a huge contribution to the community. The teacher's determination to educate students lead to school success as well as the community. The second assumption is teachers should be allowed to recognize the role that their administration plays. In this case, teachers should collaborate with the school administration to ensure that they understand the concept they will teach. As administrators are responsible for the evaluation of school systems, teachers are responsible to observe the students. When teacher and administrators work together, it leads to the school level upgrades and community progress. The third assumption is teachers are the first thing that a community sees. Since teachers are the most highest rated influencers, they have to act nice, practice pleasant personality, and have a good behavior. Community's eyes are all on them. Parents, students, and other professionals look up on teachers. They portray a good example to everyone's perspective as they are the source of knowledge, improvement, and motivation. As teachers are the center of attraction in community, it is very important that what the community sees is fine and ethical. For the last assumption, teachers bringing in the school's public awareness. Teachers as an external parents. Parents naturally bring awareness with their children as well as teacher. One responsibility of the teacher is to raise public awareness regarding a certain topic with his or her student. One best example is different religions. In class, Each students have their own beliefs and principles. Teachers are the privileged one to teach their students on how to respect one's religion. Through this awareness, the students will leave a positive impact with their fellow student and avoid the misconception from different religion backgrounds. The teacher's role in school community relations is indeed a huge challenge for them, as they have to exert themselves physically and emotionally just to fulfill the expected roles of them in the public's perspective.
Role model. There are so many reasons why students think of their teacher as their ultimate role model. Because there are people who set good example by the word they speak and by the action they take. But one of the biggest reason is the desire to become a role model for a student is to look up to learn from, and to remember for the rest of their lives. Everyone has experienced the strength and enduring the influence of a teacher who both successful and had a great impact. Teachers are the one who show us the path of this world, whether it is by teaching us the importance of doing a community service, finding a passion for a certain subject, or how to gain confidence to speak in front of the other. A great teacher always has compassion to their students, understanding their personal lives and appreciation for their academic goals and achievements. Teachers are Teachers become a role model is not a new concept and has inspired students to be positive, always try harder, and to reach the goal. My role, my role model was my high school science teacher. She's very good at teaching us. And every time we speak in front of other in front of others, she always tell us to be confident and speak louder. And every time we're doing a science experiment or reporting for her subject, she always tell us what to do and what we're going to put on this and that. And she uh, always encourage us to do our best.
One of the most important parts of teaching is having dedication. Teachers not only listen but also coach and mentor their students. They are able to help shape academic goals and are dedicated to getting their students to achieve them. Teachers have patience for their students and are understanding when a concept isn't taking. Teachers do what they do because they want to help others. They are not teaching for recognition or a paycheck, but because they have a passion for youth and education. Teachers typically believe in the power of education and the importance of providing children with good role models and are teaching because of that belief. They are dedicated to that cause. Finally, teachers' dedication is shown by their round-the-clock work habits. Teachers don't stop working when the school bell rings. They are grading papers, making lessons, and communicating with parents after school and on weekends. Most teachers arrive earlier than school starts to set up their day and provide extra assistance to struggling students. If you are active in social media and watching news on television, you probably saw that there are news regarding teachers. For example, there is teacher Tessalyn Samson that renovated the stockroom for her students to be able to use that as a classroom. Um, as a classroom. We all know that it is the government's duty to provide these necessities, but to go to that extent, that only shows how dedicated she is. And then there is teacher Lilia that goes house to house just to make sure that she would be able to enroll every one of her students. And then there is teacher Arturo Grafilo that made his classroom feels like home for her students to be able to focus and to be feel safe. And then there is another teacher that that took care of her student's baby for her student to be able to focus on her study.
So next is the guidance. Teachers are able to identify each student's areas of strength and weakness. Teachers motivate and inspire their students to work hard and stay on track with their academic goals. Teachers will assist in highlighting a student's strengths and impart useful life skills. So one of a teacher's greatest responsibilities is to provide guidance to students. A guide that can motivate learners to wake up in the morning and go to the school enthusiastically and learn not just from the books but from the heart of their teachers as well. Let's take a glance at the recent experience of grade 5 students throughout her first day of face-to-face class. She sobbed uncontrollably because she had heard statements that were utterly embracing. The teacher herself should have said, "Don't worry, just take your time, you can do it," and not in that nasty manner. As a result of that, according to the child's aunt, she is currently terrified to go to the school again due to what her instructor had told her. My teachers and future teachers, let us be reminded that we should always give empathic attitude towards our students. We shouldn't give them trauma. Instead, give them love and guidance despite of their level of intelligence, their skills, strengths, and weakness. Let's always teach perseverance and respect in ourselves and sworn position in order to achieve that. By doing so, we'll also be able to pass it forward to our students. Additionally, try to speak to them calmly and constantly offer positive affirmations to help them have positive outlook on themselves because we are unsure of their specific challenges they are dealing with. Let's bear in mind that even if years have passed, your pupils' hearts and minds will always reflect the level of care, direction, and compassion you showed them.
Our topic is all about teachers provide the power of education. Education is the most empowering force in the world. It creates knowledge, builds confidence, and breaks down barrier to opportunity. It allows us to understand the world in which we live. Through education, we have become thoughtful about what happened around us. Education empowers people with the knowledge, skills, and values they need to build a better world with the help of our teachers. Knowledge and education are the basis for all things that can be accomplished in life. Teachers provide the power of education to today's youth, thereby giving them the possibility for a better future. Teachers simplify the complex and make abstract concepts accessible to students. They can expand on interests and push their students to do better. They give students purpose, set them up for success as citizens of our world, and inspire them in a drive to do well and succeed in life. And I'm also believe that the children of today are the leaders of tomorrow. And teachers are that critical point that makes a child ready for their future. Life-changing stuff happens in the younger years as children accumulate knowledge at the hands of a good teacher. Great teachers have the ability to change lives for the better. Teachers can act as a support system that is lacking elsewhere in students' lives. As a future educator, I am agree with the statement of Franklin Roosevelt. He said, "We cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build the youth for our future." Teachers hold students accountable for their success and failures. Teachers have the great power from their ability to change the world through empowering our future generation. Children around the world are influenced by their teachers as they learn concrete skills and strategies or simple life lessons.
Taking on the task of shaping young minds is a big responsibility. To say that the teachers can change lives is not an exaggeration. Teaching is a tough job, but it is one where you can make the most impact in another person's life. And I'm impressed by how our teachers are brave enough to take that responsibility.